So we're starting to just see, again, the research is small, okay, you guys? I'll be perfectly honest. The studies, they're not awesome. We need larger, bigger studies. We need companies to pick this up and really dig deep into it. But we're starting to see a bunch of little dots being connected that when I'm sitting with a couple inside Fertility Confidence Method who have been told they have unexplained, maybe they've had multiple miscarriages, they don't know what's going on, their clinic wants to do IVF, but they want answers. This, without a doubt, is the first thing we're going to investigate. Because especially if we're like inflammation, you have lots of signs of inflammation. They could also still have this that's contributing to the inflammation. And so we want to take a whole body, whole couple approach. And I would argue that given that we're looking at the uterine microbiome, it's not even whole body. It really is very local to that reproductive system, but we are potentially seeing a trickle-down effect to inflammatory signs or immune dysregulation signs in other areas of the body that might point to us to say, hey, we should probably look into this a little bit. So like I said, it's all about balance, right? So we want good amount of good bacteria. You're all going to have some bad bacteria. We just don't want an overgrowth of bad bacteria. So when we have those high levels of bad bacteria and low levels of good bacteria, that's what we call a dysbiotic environment. Because the Lactobacillus actually helps create a healthy vaginal pH, it also produces something called lactic acid, which protects the endometrial layer, helps protect the vaginal canal and keep that good pH environment. That's going to keep the bad bacteria from being able to flourish. So if we don't have good levels of Lactobacillus in our vaginal canal and our pH is disrupted, and let's say your partner has some overgrowths in his semen and you're having unprotected sex, we're now introducing other even if he doesn't have overgrowth, let's say he's a great microbiome, we're still introducing a different microbiome into our body. And if you don't have that good, healthy pH and that protective piece, then your body's not able to fight that off. And maybe it's not a one-time thing where now all of a sudden you have this dysbiosis, but over time of intimacy with your partner, especially if you're TTC and it's unprotected, that is going to add up to potentially causing that dysbiotic environment. So we're not going to get into too much about like the partner side of things, but know that this is a piece for them as well. And we do have a podcast episode talking about about the semen microbiome and how that matters for men. I'll make sure we link it in the show notes. But if we do find that you have a microbiome that needs support, your partner's also probably does as well, right? So like I said, our standard kind of fertility workup, we're not looking at these things, unfortunately, right out of the gate. My hope is that in my lifetime, when couples walk into the fertility clinic, this will be run-of-the-mill testing for them. I really do think it would actually save a lot of time and money to sort this out before, doing 3 IUIs that don't work, and then an egg retrieval, and then 3+ embryo transfers, and then saying, why isn't this working? And finding out that you have no good bacteria and an inhospitable environment for implantation. Like if you could save yourself $30,000+ plus all that time is probably 6 months to a year, essentially, depending on how quickly you're moving through the process. Like, wouldn't you? Doesn't that make sense to actually support your body's ability to carry a pregnancy and optimize your body's ability to carry a pregnancy before investing in the ART?